Core reporters, welcome back to my channel. It's time for like a big recap of Love is Blind UK episodes 3 and 4. We really truly have to talk about how just unhinged Sam is. Like, it is insane the way he behaved in these past two episodes. I feel so badly for Nicole. Like, the whole thing was a farce. All right, I don't even know where to begin, but let's start with episode 3, of course, right? So in episode 2, we finished off with Benayah trying to tell Nicole that Sam is an inauthentic person. He's not here for the right reasons. Like, he's just like bad news and everything like that. And Sam, meanwhile, is in the lounge pretending to be torn up about the possibility of losing Nicole to Benayah. And then we flip on over to Tom telling Maria that he doesn't want a stay-at-home wife. So basically, this subject comes up because Maria was talking about how she really wants to pour into her family, like to like, for her, like the wife role, the mom role, she really wants to do that like in the house and everything like that. But these days, that doesn't mean that you don't want to work. That just means that maybe you'll do your work from home, or maybe you'll work in like a part-time capacity, or maybe you'll be full-time at home for a couple of years. Then when the kids are a little bit older, you'll be off to school. But Tom was very dry towards Maria in that moment, and I don't love it, to be honest. And then she even kind of said, hey, like, at least for the first year or two, I'd like to be at home. And he didn't seem convinced. And I'm like, dude, she's gonna be pregnant for a whole year, which is like, it sounds like a lot of work, you know what I mean? Then she's gonna have to go through childbirth, which is the most painful experience you can have, then deal with postpartum. Like, why can't she have a year or two at home? Like, to me, like, him not being down with that would be a red flag for me in my dating life. But listen, every woman's different. If she's happy with the stinginess or whatever he's got going on there that like keeps him from like wanting the mom of his kids to have a year or two to bond with those children that she carried, and to relax and like, get her hormones and like, everything together, then go for it. Now, she asked him if he had any connections with other people, and we already know that Tom's other connection is Natasha. And she also asked like if he feels more strongly about anyone, like where's he leaning? And he says that for now, both Maria and Natasha are neck and neck in the competition for his stingy heart. Meanwhile, Jasmine and Bobby get their big reveal. So that's like a couple that I really do love. And I hope they stay together and everything like that. And look at them. Like, doesn't that look like a nice, warm, loving embrace? Like, I definitely like see the love between the two of them. I can like feel it between the two of them. And I truly hope that that relationship works out and leads to a good, happy, and healthy marriage for the two of them. And I also love the way that he re-proposed to her during the reveal. I was like, oh, Bobby, I was not like really into your rapping proposal, but this re-proposal totally makes up for it. Now, I will say though that he kept on making all sorts of declarations of love and like, fidelity and all sorts of like great things. And Jasmine didn't really reciprocate. But here's the thing, I'm not going to hold it against her because I think she was just so stressed and flustered that like, she wasn't even thinking like, to return those things or anything like that. And he seemed happy with it. So I think it is what it is in that case, right? Now we get on to Demi and Ollie. So these two are really continuing on with like their whole love affair. Remember, Catherine was also interested in Ollie before, but then she decided that she was going to continue on in her connection with Freddie, who is someone that I prefer for her versus Ollie. And then Ollie was more leaning towards Demi anyway. So now here the two of them are. And she tells him that she's scared to feel like, she's scared and she doesn't feel like she's enough because she's got like that endometriosis, which will make it hard for her to conceive naturally in the future. And Ollie tells her that she's always been more than enough, which I do think was a very beautiful way of responding to that sort of news. And then meanwhile, in Jasmine's world, she is tasked with the role of kind of like helping Nicole navigate her feelings because in this moment, Nicole is torn between two guys, right? She is torn between Benayah and she's also torn with Sam. So Benayah is someone who is kind of like a nomadic person. He doesn't really have a home. He's just house sitting from house to house, trying to figure his life out, I guess. And Sam seems to be somewhat of a raging narcissist. And Nicole is just like, which one do I pick? What do I go with? And Jasmine used to kind of date Sam. Sam was trying to like use like his like manipulation tactics to get her to choose him. And she just was not feeling it. But she wasn't even harsh against him when she was trying to advise Nicole. In fact, all she tells Nicole is that Ben Ben will emotionally fulfill her, but not Sam. And then she also exposes Sam for calling her his soulmate because Nicole, in response to the whole Ben is going to fulfill you, she's like, yeah, but like Sam's the one who's been like declaring me like his soulmate. He says it's always been me, like, I'm the one. And then Jasmine's like, oh, my sweet summer child. He tried that on me too. He's been telling me the exact same stuff. So you would think at this moment it would click in Nicole's brain that this guy, Sam, is not a good guy, is not an authentic guy, right? She already clocked him up first, but she did not follow and trust her instincts. Then you've got Benayah telling her he's not a good guy, he's not a genuine guy. You've got Jasmine telling you, hey, like everything he's told you about you being his soulmate, he's told me too. Like at this point, like that's three people, including herself, who are saying that Sam is a red flag, yet she's still torn up about it. I'm like, girl, maybe you should have kind of taken some more time after that divorce of yours because it's clear that you still have not worked on your picker. Okay. Now let's get back to more healthy, happy sort of love stories now because this one I really don't like. Let's get into Freddy and Catherine. Okay. He proposes to Catherine. And the proposal is just as beautiful as I imagined it would be. And I truly cannot wait for them to meet each other at the reveal. Now, seeing the way that Ben talks about his relationship with Nicole when like they're doing like the voiceovers and stuff like that, like because they're both vying to be the one that she accepts the proposal from. And so they're showing Ben like talking about how Nicole just like makes him want to be a better person. She's full of love. He loves her so much. And then you've got Sam, I hope she picks me, blah, blah, blah. Like, like I'm a great guy, this type of stuff. Like, it's just the difference truly is night and day. And I just know that when Nicole watches this back, she's going to kind of like kick herself for not choosing Ben sooner. But again, I don't know that Ben is really that much of a suitable choice because he's not a stable person. To me, if you want to get married and stuff, you should be stable in your own life. And the man doesn't even have a stable address. So I'm not too sure about him anyway. But I will say that I do believe that he has a good heart. Right now, Nicole decides to go ahead and ask Sam if he's truly there for love and to meet someone and to get married. And I'm like, girl, if you have to ask, you're on Love is Blind. The assumption is that everyone here is for that. And so you have one person, and this is the only person that you have felt the need to ask that to. Doesn't that tell you that something is off? Is your intuition not screaming to you that this guy is inauthentic and that's why you even feel the need to ask? Because with Ben, you only asked if he was close to finding someone, not if he was an authentic person. You know what I mean? So of course, Sam, being like the manipulator and the liar that he is, he claims that that is exactly what he's there for, and he keeps on telling her to trust him. And to me, that makes you trust you even less if you have to tell me that, right? And so he tries to force himself to be emotional when he tells her that she's amazing and deserves the world, and he wants to be the one to give it to her. And again, he just keeps on saying, trust me, trust me, trust me. And like this guy, the way he speaks just to me is very off-putting. I keep saying like he sounds like a used car salesman, just putting on the pressure, and he's the used car that he's trying to get sold and off that lot, right? Because in the past when he was like doing his dates with all the girls, like at the end of the dates he'd be like, oh, like don't forget me, Sam from London, Sam from London, don't forget Sam from, and he would just keep on saying it like a broken record. Now it's trust me, I swear I'm a good person, I trust me, I'm here for the right reasons. Like no, it's just not looking too good, to be honest with you, right? And then at this point, for some godforsaken reason, Nicole decides to tell Sam that she loves him. And all he says in response to I love you is, oh, no one's ever said they love me. This guy is such a pick me. I know people say pick me girl, but I feel like pick me is a gender neutral term. So in this case, he is a pick me. I guess we'll call him a pick me boy, but I'll just say pick me because how crazy is it that like someone is telling you they love you, and instead of evaluating if you love this person or not, and in his case, it's very obvious he does not love Nicole, he's just excited to have been picked. Oh, no one's ever said that to me. But Sam, you're telling me that all the girls are falling over their feet to get with you. They're all obsessed with you. You're some sort of amazing catch. But one girl telling you, one girl you've never met and you've been talking to for like 2 days tells you they love you, and this is the first time you've heard it. I told you guys, it's a lie. I'm sorry, but this is not someone where you go to a club or you go out somewhere and you see him, you're going to be tripping over yourself to like be in his vicinity or to talk to him or just be like, wow, this, you know what I mean? No offense to him. I'm not saying he's ugly or anything like that. I'm just saying it was very obvious that he was lying from jump, and he was trying to convince himself and he was trying to convince the ladies. But you know who he did not convince? Me. He did not convince me, not one bit. Now, he then so at that point he doesn't even go, oh, like no one's ever told me that, like I love you too, like blah blah blah. No, that's all he says. He ends it on that phrase. Then he asks Nicole to marry him, and at this point again he still has never said that he loved this woman. He only said that no one ever told him that they loved him, right? And he doesn't even give a speech for that proposal. So, oh, you love me, that's amazing, no one's ever loved me, let's get married. No mention of loving you, no speech on why he wants to be with you, why you're the one for him, or anything like that. Like, that's it. All he says is, will you marry me? And promise that you're going to kiss me every morning. You know, it's all about what Nicole can do for Sam, because again, I feel like Sam is a narcissist, you know, and I hate how overused this word is. But you know what I think it is when it comes to reality TV and why we're using this word so much? I feel like reality shows and like Hollywood and things like that in general, they attract people who, in my opinion, are more likely to be narcissistic, and that's why we feel like we're overusing it, or we're saying it this much, or like it feels like everyone's a narcissist. For someone to get on a show like this, right? Trying to, in my opinion, use someone as a stepping stone in order to reach their own goals of fame and whatever and adoration, you have to have a level of narcissism within you. And that's why I think we keep on saying that about people we're seeing on reality TV, right? And then to be talking about yourself with such delusion and confidence, the way that this man talks about himself, like, come on now, right? So again, that proposal really was just so sad. I felt really bad for Nicole. Like that was like the worst one of the worst proposals I had ever seen. Okay. And you can just tell in Nicole's face at this point, because her smile, beautiful smile starts dropping, that she like is slowly realizing that she made a mistake. Like, oh no, what have I done? Like, I think she realized that Sam never told her he loved her, and he never said anything like special about her that like made him want to propose. Nicole, girl, I feel like your first husband probably gave you a much better proposal than that. Okay. And then he asked Nicole to take things to the next level. Wait a second. What am I saying? Yeah. So here is the next thing, right? You've got Benayah going on his date with Nicole, and at this point it's too late. And honestly, I don't blame Nicole for like throwing him to like the side, because she had already given him a chance to like say that he's serious and he's ready to marry her, and all he said was that he's not sure and everything like that. So now it's too late, but here he comes strolling into his date with Nicole, and he asks her to take things to the next level without like formally proposing, and she's like, sorry Ben, but like Sam has my heart. And you know, it kind of just ends there. He walks away crying real tears. And again, I do believe that Ben is 1,000% genuine, but also, again, I don't think he's in a place to get married, you know, to have a wife, to have a family or anything like that, just because he's not a stable person, like, you know, lifestyle wise yet. So now Sam, at this point, now that he's engaged to Nicole, he goes to the men's quarters to announce the news, and he was just so emotionless when he described the proposal and everything to the boys. And like, I just cannot overstate how much he creeps me out, and just how strongly I believe that there's something off about him, personality wise, like emotional wise. Like it's just not good. Very like, it's disconnected from the way that people normally emote and communicate things, and like people's normal objectives and motivations in love. Now let's get into Catherine and Freddy. You guys, they finally get to meet face to face after their engagement, and I have just got to say that that was just so damn emotional. It had to be one of the most emotional reveals that I had ever seen. And again, this is my couple of the season, right? And I feel like my couple of the seasons always last. So I had Lauren and Cameron. I did not have my money on Amber and Burnett lasting this long, but I had Lauren and Cameron. And then I remember Alexa and Brennan, before like all that stuff rolled out with them and their true colors were shown. I really like knew that that would be a solid coupling. I think there's more, but I just talk so much about Love is Blind, I can't keep up with them all. But like, yeah, like, and I really feel that for Catherine and Freddy, and I really, really do hope that that lasts, you guys. Like, they would break my heart if they were to break up, you know, like that would be bad. I would have to take a sick leave from YouTube. Now, let's get into episode 4 of the show now, shall we? So in episode 4 of the show, we've got Tom getting ready to break Natasha's heart. Like he was a very like, nice guy about it. He truly was a gentleman, but he tells Natasha, "Listen, like I don't feel a romantic or actual attraction towards you, and I feel like I really need that like to have like a proper long-lasting love, relationship, marriage." And Natasha just breaks down crying, and I felt really sad for her because I think she's a really nice girl and she's been through so much, especially having been a larger girl, like then losing all that weight, like now fitting more into like the standard and everything like that, and how big of a toll that can take on your psyche, and just trying to figure everything out. Like, yeah, I felt for her for sure. But here's the thing, Natasha and Maria, you both, in my opinion, are very lively, like charismatic girls. What is it that you see in Tom? Because Tom is like paint drying to me. Like he is dry AF. I genuinely do not understand what you guys are seeing in him, but listen, maybe there's a lot of stuff that like is warm and fuzzy about him that was left on the editing room floor. But to me, his affect, his voice, and the way he was just so against the mother of his child being able to stay home for even 1 year, like yuck, hard pass for me. Um, it was sad to see Natasha talk about having little confidence and nice at the same time, though, to see all of the girls rallying behind her, because that's something I love. Whenever all these girls are just girls, and like just there to lift each other up and everything like that. Like this was a really wonderful, beautiful, supportive environment. And I just love that for Natasha. And I hope that she took all of their compliments to heart because she is a wonderful person and she will find her person eventually. Okay. Now, before the big reveal, between Sam and Nicole, per usual, Sam makes it all about himself, what he wants, like nothing about like the girl. He just tells us that he wants to be with someone who's just gonna love him forever, right? He wants someone who chooses him, right? Because he's a pick me. And it's just so weird because he claimed that women trip over themselves to get with him. So, Sam, if women are always tripping over themselves to pick you when you're out and about, why is it that no one's ever chosen you? Your story is not adding up. It's not adding up. I'm sorry. Like I said, the face card does not match the story, and the things you're saying are not matching the story either. Okay. So come on now. Now, face to face, he is very, very, very tall. I didn't even notice because look at him sitting down here. You would think he was just like, anywhere from 5'10" to like 6'1", 6'2". But then you see him in front of Nicole. Maybe Nicole is a very, very short girl because this man was massive. Here he's on his knee to do the quote unquote proposal to her, but he was massive. He was towering over her. He was giving 6'5". You know who I would like to see him up against? What's that guy's name? Marvin or something like that? The one that got married to Lydia from Love is Blind. What's his name? Marvin Marshall, Mar something, Mar. And he has two names. He has a real first name and then that name. That guy. Like I would love to see these two next to each other because they're both very, very, very tall, right? And here he doesn't even tell Nicole that he finds her beautiful. Typically the guy is just look at this, the close body language and everything like that, right? It's oh my God, you're so stunning, you're beautiful. Wow, wow, wow. No, he goes to Nicole and he says, "So, what do you think? What do you think?" Again, everything is about Sam. It's Sam's world, and we're all just living in it. He is so deeply, deeply insecure, crazy to me, right? And then he does his confessional with us. And here he says something that was so weird. He goes, "You know what? It doesn't matter what anyone says. Nicole is beautiful to me." I'm like, what do you mean? Who has said anything about Nicole's looks? Like, you're staying there on the guy's side, and the guys have never seen Nicole. So where would you get anything about her looks? And Nicole is beautiful. I'm sorry, but Nicole is beautiful. Nicole is freaking beautiful. She's stunning. She's a 10 out of 10. Her face card does not decline. So I'm sorry, but I felt like there's something kind of racial going on there, like low key in the way he was speaking. And then like he randomly asked this girl, and you can clearly see that she's got dark eyes, like a dark brown or black eyes. And he asked her what color her eyes are. I'm sorry, are you like okay? Like you can very clearly see. And on top of that, she's a fully like black woman, and we tend to have brown or black eyes, you know, and if you don't, you're an exception rather than like, you know, the norm. So what, like, it felt like a weird microaggression because then after that he goes, oh, like boring brown eyes. Boring? You mean warm brown eyes? You mean honey brown eyes? You mean chocolate glazed brown eyes? A little bit of respect, please, you know? He was just so weird. I truly cannot stand this guy. This is one of my least favorite Love is Blind people of all seasons. And right now he's only behind the guy in Love is Blind Brazil who proposed to that girl. There was this girl who got engaged to two guys on the show. Like the second guy had proposed to her at the reunion and he turned out to be an F-boy too. Those two are the worst. Then there was a guy from season 1, 2 who got with Fernanda and treated her like garbage. Like he's behind those, but like he's up there, you know, like it just, I cannot stand him. He's very, very like rude and very, very weird. He just gets more psychotic by the episode. And mind you, when he does his proposal to Nicole, he doesn't even take the ring out of the box. She has to take it out herself and put it on her own damn finger. She put it on the wrong finger and the man didn't even say a damn word about it. Like there's just so much wrong with it. Wake up, Nicole, please. And then again, they're sitting around. They've got nothing to talk about because they're not a match. And he just keeps on telling her to trust him, trust him, trust him. And it's like, you're just trying to convince her because you want to make it like further in the show, because the further you make it, the more people see you, the bigger your social following is. And I think at the end of it, you're going to leave her at the altar, right? And so it felt like yuck, you know. If you really had a perfect bond, you would not be needing to like sell yourself to the person after having already proposed. And mind you, at this point, he still hasn't even said that he actually is in love with her, you know, just weird. And then he goes, it's going to be good. What's going to be good? What is going to be good? Like, it's just, I haven't seen anyone react that way. And there have been a lot of people who were not attracted to their person. And they've like acted in weird ways, but not like this guy, like where they're trying to force it or anything like that. Like they try to go along with it to see if they'll change, but this guy's just trying to force it. And again, I'm sorry, but you're punching. Nicole is a 10 out of 10. So just weird, honestly, very, very weird. Now, I did also want to say that Jasmine looked absolutely stunning in her dress. Okay. I'm sorry. Nicole looked absolutely stunning in her dress. I found it to be a very, very, very beautiful, like color and like pattern for her and everything like that. And, you could also tell, like, you know, and it's similar to when he proposed and like said, like, just like weird things like she's like noticing more and more that something is off about this relationship and about this dynamic. And I really do hope that she acts on it, because sometimes, you know, the girls or anybody tries to convince themselves to like just, you know, grin and bear like the connection until the end. But this one's going to be too painful to follow up on. And I think he can do a lot of damage to her too. Like this is someone who only cares about himself, in my opinion. So you don't want to stick around for that girl. Now, again, when he's sitting there with Nicole, this guy who's supposedly the most gorgeous, like sought after man in all of London is telling her how no one ever gives him a chance, you know, like no one ever picks him and stuff like that. Like, I promise to change your mind, blah, blah. And it's kind of like, dude, like, come on, you know, like all of this is just such weird conversation. And then he also tells her that he thinks he loves her. And I'm like, what do you mean you think you love your fiance that you're supposed to be marrying in a couple of months? Like, why did you propose if you only think you love her, right? Like, it's just so odd. Like, his motives are just so weird. And then they do the like little thing where like they say goodbye at the end and then the doors are closing. And so as they're doing that, this man is like, don't forget my face. We're engaged. We're about to get married. What do you mean, don't forget my face? Like, he's so weird. I'm telling you, this guy, he should just be selling used cars, this man. Like, he's just such a salesman, which is like good for like that career. But like when you're trying to form a romantic connection, it is like a little bit like off-putting, to be honest with you. Now, in a confessional, Jasmine tells us like, hey, like I liked Sam in the pods, but the guy that I'm seeing now, like, not so sure. I do have to figure out, like, you know, how I feel about this one. Okay. Next up, you've got Tom and Maria. I'm so happy to be switching gears here because I'm sorry to talk about Nicole and Sam. So Tom and Maria exchange their I love yous. So that's really lovely to see the way that their relationship is continuing to progress. And then he proposes to her, and it was a very nice, simple, and efficient proposal, the exact way I would have imagined a proposal from dry ass Tom. And meanwhile, on the flip side, you got someone who's a little bit more in tune with his emotions, and that is Ollie, who professes his love to Demi with a heartfelt letter that she tearfully appreciates, and then he follows it up by proposing to her. And of course, he accepts. She accepts. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I should mention that Maria is absolutely stunning. She's a 10 out of 10. She's definitely, a beauty of the season. I feel like Jasmine are absolutely stunning. I also feel like Nicole is absolutely stunning as well. You guys already know that I think Sabrina is gorgeous, and I love her teeth too. Like in a world of veneers, to see like cute, quirky teeth like this, yes. By the way, I want to ask my dentist friend, but she's on vacation right now. Um, if any of you guys work in like dentistry, what are teeth like this called? Because I find them so cute. I don't know how to describe it, but like there's like this. Hang on, let me take this down. There's like this thing here, like it's so hard because my teeth are so white here. But like there's like the teeth after the front too. Like I think it's cute when they're a little turned in. It's adorable. So anyway, Tom was taken, like his breath was truly taken away by Maria's beauty. And it's like, yup, as it should be, because she is absolutely stunning. Okay. Now it's time for Demi and Ollie to meet face to face. And Demi is nervous that Ollie is not going to be attracted to her because she is a little on the juicy side, which there's nothing wrong with. And, some men prefer women on the juicy side. I'll tell you guys, my boyfriend, my lover, he, you know, he likes a girl to be like thick, I guess. And he's always trying to convince me to gain weight. And I am absolutely not interested in gaining weight. So, and I will tell you, and he is like muscle. He is like Freddy or bigger than Freddy, like that kind of guy. And they love themselves a juicy woman. And I like to be a bony woman. So, so there you go, Demi. Like you're good, right? Now, he's on the flip side nervous about meeting her and if he'll like be able to sustain his attraction to her, because Demi has always been talking about how she's got many like guys like in her orbit, but they don't want to be with her. And he's like, what is it that's like so off-putting? Is she going to be too much like one of the guys or something like that? Like, is she going to have like an air of femininity, like sensuality, things like that? And I do think that that's a very valid concern. I'd be concerned about a guy too, like who's around all these women. It's like, oh, like, and no one wants to claim you. Interesting. Now, they do actually meet face to face, and I gotta say, Ollie seemed very attracted to Demi, and he even did the final look back at it when she was going away, like to her separate quarters and everything like that. So I have a lot of high hopes for this relationship. Okay, and huh. I don't know why this said that. Now, let's get into the honeymoons, okay? Catherine, girl, again, I hope that you do not break our Freddie's heart. Like he seems to be all about you. But the thing is that now, during the honeymoons, Catherine is showing signs of being hesitant about her engagement and still thinking about Ollie. So I am a little bit worried for Freddie. And I'm also glad that Nicole refused to go on the honeymoon to Greece with Sam. She's like, my intuition was just telling me that this is not the right move. Like so many things were off. And she points to like the second proposal, for example, and how she had to put the ring on herself. It was on the wrong hand and the guy didn't even care to notice. And I wish she also mentioned like the whole trust me, trust me, trust me weirdo nonsense, and like how he only said that he thinks that he loves her. So that's all we get basically for now in regards to like these connections and stuff like that. And the next few episodes are going to be dropping, I think, in 3 days. So keep an eye out. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that like you'll get the recaps as they drop for the new episodes. And I don't know if you see the sticker scrolling across, but I do also, if you want to watch other reality shows in the meantime while you wait for this. For example, I'm going to be watching Braxton Family Values. That just dropped, the new show that they have, the Braxtons, using Philo. Okay, so it's kind of like a Netflix, but like reality television based. They've got VH1, they've got WeTV, they've got MTV, they've got Lifetime, they got like 73 different channels, over 70,000 shows, documentaries, movies, you name it. Okay, In the affiliate, I mean, in the description box of this video, I've got an affiliate link to hook you up with a week free trial so you can see if you like it before you officially pull the trigger and sign up. Okay. Let me know though what you thought about the episodes 3 and 4 of Love is Blind UK in the comment section. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.